Welcome to the Escape the Drift podcast. I am Dr. Jacob Egbert. And today's topic is I almost quit medicine. Now, interesting trajectory that I've followed over my 15-year career as a physician. Now, the title of this, I almost quit medicine, is very true, actually. I have been planning my exit from practicing medicine as a physician. I'm a licensed physician, and recently my board certification expired, and I chose deliberately not to renew it. Well, my plan was to exit medicine. I'm like, I don't need it. I'm going to do something else because I am no longer willing to follow this path. I have drifted to this point, and I am escaping the drift. Because medicine has not served me emotionally during my career. And I'll explain this here as we get into the details. To the point where I literally, like I said, was about to quit. And I didn't have a really strong plan where I was going to go with this. I had some business ideas. Like, the truth of the matter is I psychologically had come to a point where I was about to break. And not in a weak, oh, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to fall on the ground, break, but just break free. Just no, not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to put myself through this anymore. Now let me go back. So I entered medical school in 2003. I had done the prerequisite study in college, graduated with a high GPA. I did well on my entrance exam. I interviewed for schools, and I was filled with enthusiasm for my pursuit. I had the idea, altruistic and simple as it was, I am going to help people. And as a 25-year-old boy with a background in health perspective, I grew up with the idea of health and fitness and betterment of the self. And so I thought, I love physical. I love bodies. I love performance. And I have come across some things that have really helped me. And this is largely how most people live their lives. They're like, this is something that means something to me. So personally, I was attached to or committed to physical well-being. And not just well-being oh, I'm not sick, but I want to be at the top, optimal. And so I thought, well, let me learn everything about the human body. What's the best way to do that? Medicine. You're going to spend years studying the human body. And I thought, I'm going to learn the secrets to under the hood, the mechanics of the details at the finest level of how a human body operates, to where I will have the tools and the capacity and the ability to go and give to others the gift of life, the gift of enhancement, the gift of better. And so I got into medical school. And the first year, 2 years was fascinating. It was just stacks and stacks and stacks of books and notes and lectures and learning. And I loved it. I thrive on knowing all the things. I bought a medical dictionary and I'd sit in class. I missed 2 hours of lecture in 2 years. I'd sit there with this dictionary, and any time a word was spoken that I didn't know what it was, I'm like, I'm not familiar with that word. I'd look it up real quick. I'm like, okay, got it. I was always on the very verge of the cutting edge of knowing. Okay, I want to understand this completely. I want to understand everything about this human body. I want to be the best at this. Now, best not meaning I want to be the best of better than anyone, but the best that I can be. And I pursued the knowing of the human body. Now, during this time, I was also pursuing fitness, physical fitness. I was training. I was doing endurance training at the time. I was doing triathlons. I was in the gym. I had a back injury early on, actually before I started medical school. So I was also very concerned about, well, how can I rehabilitate this back? Like I'm here like with the secrets of life. Let me learn how this body works to the point where I can feel better. So I'm standing in the back of the class in medical school my first week because I couldn't sit down. My back hurt so bad. And I dedicated myself to learning my own rehabilitation, but also continuing my path toward betterment, athletic enhancement. And like, I just wanted to be the very best human and enjoy life because I love physical things. I love athletics. I love climbing trees and jumping over fences and swimming in water and carrying heavy things and doing all the cool shit that humans are made to do. Run fast, jump high, have great sex. Like, I want to be physical in all the ways. So I was a dedicated student of human excellence. And then the next 2 years of medical school were clinical. And I was introduced to illness, face to face with illness, with disease, with the broken state of the human body. And to say that I didn't like that is an understatement. I was dealing with the end of the road. I was dealing with those humans that had made so many poor choices for so many years that they were desperate. And we, as the physicians, as the medical community, were there to pick them up and patch them up and send them on their way. And that's what medicine is. We, as a physician body, treat disease. Now, this didn't sit well with me. And here's the reality of this. I'm just now coming to the consciousness of this realization. And I'll tell you what the story that happened. I was sitting in the sauna with my wife 2 days ago, and it was emotional for this brief moment where I think she said something to the effect of, you're doing what you went to medical school to do. As I'm doing this performance medicine testosterone replacement clinic, and I have so many ideas that are becoming real. And it was like an aha moment for me. I'm doing 15 years later what I went into medicine to do. And I'm emotional about it. Like, this is my whole life as a career, as a contributor to the world, to society. Like, I did this. I went into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. I've worked thousands of hours. I've done so much to be able to help people in the way that serves my soul. And I didn't do that for 15 years because I didn't know I could. I tried in various ways. I started a business. Like, I tried to start a business in my early days of not knowing anything 10 years ago. Primal RX, transformational health. But I didn't have anywhere to go with it at the time. I didn't have any training. I didn't have the knowledge at that time, and it didn't go anywhere. But I also had life pushing me because I had kids, I had a wife, I had student loan payments. I'm like, I got to get a job. And the job took my time and my attention, and it just, the drift. I got into the drift, and I had job after job, and I wasn't happy with those jobs. I was treating disease. I was treating old people that they didn't care. And that's not a diminishment to people that need help, but they didn't care about what I cared about. What I care about is taking a human being that's like doing pretty good and they're like, I want to be better. I want to be the best. Now I'm doing the thing where I can be like, let me help you be the best. Take all that knowledge. I have 20 years of experience now, of knowledge of how to help somebody be their best. And the emotion that comes up is because of the meaning that I've put on this and the regret, perhaps. Like, this is a fine line here, and this is what I really wanted to talk about. I almost quit medicine because I had lost vision of what I could accomplish. I didn't even see a vision of what I could accomplish. I gave up. I felt like I was a victim of circumstance, and I just drifted along. And how many of us are doing that? But I got to the point where I saw clearly, I've done the work to create my life, and I created it. I had a vision years ago, and I saw the clinic. I didn't know it was a clinic at the time, but it had all the elements of the things that I am here to deliver to other humans, like my contribution to mankind. I saw it. I created it. I'm like, this is what I want. And I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what it was even. And this is in the fog of creation. And over the last few months, the clarity is coming even more and more, and it's connected to this performance clinic. It's connected to hormone optimization. It's connected to that which I wanted to do 15 years ago. It's come full circle, and it's like, it just like clicked. And when she said that, you're finally doing what you went to medicine for. And this is personal. Obviously, I'm over here like having a moment. I haven't really even processed it fully since we had that conversation. But I'm finally doing what I went into medicine to do. This podcast, for example, everything that I've spoken, this is my heart. I'm here to help you, to help me as human beings to elevate, to become better than we are, to continue that trajectory upward. I didn't go into medicine to pick people up off the floor. I didn't. There are beautiful souls that did, and they're doing a great job, and that's their soul, and goddamn, I'm happy they're there. Because there will likely be one day where I'm on the floor and I need somebody that cares to pick me up. I'm not that person. We all have a role. We all have a place. We all have a thing that we're meant to do. So, this is personal, obviously, but I want to share this with the listener, the viewer of this, because I'm doing it and I know how I got here. And that's what I'm here to share. The Escape the Drift. This podcast, which I've been doing for months now, it's the journey, and I'm on it. All the things that I talk about, I've done or I'm doing. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep growing. This is the journey of Escape the Drift. I'm escaping the drift. I didn't escape it. I'm not like out fully. I'm not that like, I've done it. Let me tell you how to do it. I've done parts of it. I'm ahead of you, likely. If you're still caught in the drift and you're just like, oh, what is this? Yes, I'm ahead. There are those ahead of me, and I'm following them. So, I almost quit. I almost quit the thing that I was meant to do. And here I am, newly inspired, newly committed, and I have tools, I have education, I have 15 years. I didn't stop studying this stuff. I've been learning. I'm ready. I have all the capacity at this point to deliver that which I wanted to deliver 10 years ago, but I wasn't ready. So that's the beauty. The challenging times that I went through to get to this point had to happen. I'm here today because of the things that I went through, the challenges that I went through, all those years of misery and feeling futility and not fitting the mold within which I put myself. I'm free. And I will become even more free. I'm back. That's the truth here. I'm back. I'm back to where I started with what I started, burning within my heart and my soul, and the skills and knowledge and capacity to do it, to deliver it to the world, to you. Performance, elevation, optimization, to take you from here to there, to realize who you are, to realize who I am. And together, build a better world. I mean, that's just the truth. I'm here to build a better world, to help people. Look at your life. You caught me in the drift? I know you are. We're all in the drift on some way, in some element, in some capacity. And together, we can escape. I'm not quitting medicine. I'm Dr. Jacob Egbert. And this is the Escape the Drift podcast.